opportunities. Aspiritech exists today because of Brenda and Moshe Weitzberg's vision and tenacity. These are the most amazing people I've ever met. It's true. I grew up watching movie classics, and especially enjoyed musicals. As a kid, I used to watch the old Mickey Rooney, Judy Garland movies. I don't know if any of you remember that. One in particular was Strike Up the Band, the plot. Mickey Rooney and Judy Garland portrayed Jimmy Connors and Mary Holden, who were students at Riverwood High School. Jimmy was a drummer in the school band, but dreamed about playing in a dance band. Jimmy and Mary decided that in order to solve their dilemma, they ended up writing, planning, and putting on a show, which raised enough money for the school band to play in Chicago. There were more plot complications, but spoiler alert if anybody wants to see the movie. In the end, Jimmy's dreams come true. Moshe and Brenda remind me a lot of Jimmy and Mary. It's like a rabbi at a sermon. 11 years ago, they started Aspiritech in their basement. They put on their own show. And let's fast forward to today. We have 2 locations, one in Highland Park and the other one in Chicago by invitation. Right. We have 105 employees on the spectrum and we are still growing. So let's give it up for Moshe and Brenda. Also want to thank the organizers of this beautiful gala. They work tirelessly, and I very much appreciate their effort. Let's give it up to Jay Farrell and his daughter, and son-in-law Casey, and Dennis Floyd, and Molly Burr. Also want to thank the Aspiritech staff, Julie Finnerty, Robin Kaysen, and Andre Patrick. Take this opportunity to recognize Bose tonight being represented by Brian Cohen and George Kentoka. We have one minute so I just hope I do okay. I got my dance shoes on. I don't know if the band's out there, but I'm so excited about the not-for-profit bands that are performing tonight. And if anybody in the band is out there, one Springsteen song for me, okay? That'd be awesome. Now, I'm delighted to introduce to you from WGN. Our honorary MCs, Erin and Demetrius Ivory.
Another round of applause for Esther. Wonderful. Well, we want to welcome everyone to the 2019 Gala. And I am Brusic. This is Erin. So we know, so WGN is first off happy to be here because we know that this was something that Micah did. I don't know how many years she did this, but she was here for a number of years. So we live in Glenview, so we wrestled this away from her. She's not getting it back. But again, thank you for having us this evening and letting us be your MC. You know, whenever we don't do that many things together because we're married, which means we don't get to talk when she's in.
All right, don't talk over.
This is the rare moment.
But we do read into everything and just try to find out a little bit about the organization that we represent MC for. And I'll tell you what, the Aspiritech really blew us away. What a story you guys have. There's going to be a lot of applause for you, Brenda and Moshe. But 10 years ago, something in your basement to help your son, that is just an amazing start to a story. We are honored to be here.
I agree with everything you said, and I also want to thank you personally for the closest thing that we've had to a date night in many moments. So thank you for that. So let's get right to it. Let's talk about adults on the spectrum. They're bright, IQs, normal or above average, but oftentimes struggle to either find employment or maintain employment. And a lot of times, the reason for that is some of these social aspects, right? So this is where the geniuses come in. In fact, experts are saying that about 15% of adults with autism are successfully employed, just 15%.
but not with Aspiritech. Most adults, and this really, I'm going to tell a long story, but I'm going to try to keep it short. But most adults with autism possess unique talents, laser focus, attention to detail, and superior ability to spot irregularities. So these are people that I don't want to see my forecast. I'm just leaving witness protection after this bomb cyclone. This reminded me of college. In college, I was always big on making the curve. Basically, getting the highest score, ruining it for all of the other kids in the class. That was just kind of like my thing. I know, I wasn't very popular. But so in meteorology, there was this kid named Matt, and he told me he was on the spectrum in the very beginning. And Matt and I sat in the back together for 3 years in college. And I probably made the curve, I don't know, 9 out of 10 of all of my classes. Never, for 3 years in meteorology, did I make it because Matt beat me every time. So right before we graduated, he told me that he was majoring in meteorology, but he was also triple majoring in engineering and computer science. So there I go, working my best to beat this guy, and I really wanted to beat him. But I was just kind of the hobby on the side when he was actually studying to be an engineer. So that was something that just really amazed me. And you would think that he was teaching me, helping me along, or it was healthy competition. No, Matt crushed me every test, every pop quiz for 3 years. So that was something that just really, that was my whole introduction to the spectrum.
So let's get back to Aspiritech. Are you going to be okay? He's going to get over this.
I feel like Matt's watching my forecast every day, like, I should have told the guy 73 today.
So Aspiritech, they are doing exactly that. They're providing meaningful career paths for adults on the spectrum and also training them to deliver exceptional services. We're talking about software testing, and we're also talking about quality assurance services to a growing number of employers here. So now I'll speak from the heart for just a second. It's not as funny as Demetrius' story, but we have 4 children, ranging from 3 on the low end to 14. And my very wise mother was visiting one time, and it was one of those particularly circus-like nights at our home. And I naively said to her, wait till they're 18, we are on cruise control. And she laughed, like roaring laughed. And she goes, no, that's when your work begins. And I thought about that and reflected on it for a while, like weeks after. And I thought, gosh dang it, she is so right. She is so right. Because you love these kids. How do you support these kids once they're past that high school? Once all those the support and the services aren't there any longer, right? So that's kind of the gist about what we're talking about. How do you harness all of their talents and all their abilities so that they can have these fulfilling lives going forward? And you guys are doing exactly that. And so we honor that, we celebrate that tonight, and we thank you for having us here to be part of it.
All right, so a little bit of the housekeeping here. The silent auction goes on. It will be going on till 9. I hope that you got texts if you signed up. Please don't bid on the Soul Cycle. I'm trying to win that. Not for me, but for the wife. By the way, we're married. Folks saw that picture and were like, boy, you guys are really close co-workers. So, so of course, dinner will be served. We have our salads in front of us, and we're going to, of course, have some dancing. And I believe the bars will be open probably most of the night. I hear from Esther. Yeah, Esther, it's time. Again, thank you very much for having us here. We'll be back in about 20 minutes to get the program started. Thank you.